Some people just never learn. During my time when I was still doing my I Stand with Vic videos, there was a small gap in time back in 2021 where I was going off the handle at Kevin W. Smith and his more or less butchery of He Man and the Masters of the Universe with his Netflix sequel to the original 83 to 85 series, Revelation, which turned out to be nothing more than a woman power piece by making Teela the main character and having Prince Adam killed off, brought back, killed off again, and then brought back again. Kevin W. Smith, ultimately, the point I was getting at back then was that Kevin W. Smith is a fucking hypocrite. He claimed to be a huge fan of the original He-Man and the Masters of the Universe show, and practically knew nothing about it and just pivoted course to make it a woke power fantasy, a women's power fantasy. I, on the other hand, had gone out of my way to state in those videos that I was not, I did not grow up on the original series. I grew up with the reboot that was put out in 2002 and ran till around 2003, 2004. You know, the one with the Ocean group dubbing it, even though you also had Cam Clark, aka the OG Leonardo, voicing the titular character. But you still had many of the baseline live EAs from Ocean Group up in Vancouver doing most of the vocal talents. It's people like Nicole Oliver, Kathy Westlick, Brian Drummond, Michael Donovan, the Dobson brothers, Scott McNeil, etc. But it seems that Kevin W. Smith is getting a major dose of much needed backlash for his sequel, He Man and the Masters of the Universe Revolution. I don't know why, but if I'm going to guess, it's pretty much no different than Revelation, even though it has father and son on the battlefield at the same time, trying to make it for lost time. In many people's view, this all much like Revelation, where Adam was basically ousted as He-Man, i.e., Man Arms revealed the truth to King Randor and what was the name of He-Man's mother? Let me check. Keep in mind, like I said, I only know some of the bare minimals. Marlena. As soon as he was killed off, the fact now that in this, Randor knows that Eternia's greatest hero is his son kind of defeats the purpose of the secret identity trope. Wasn't the point of Adam being He-Man that he was sworn to secrecy by the sorceress, with the lone exceptions being the sorceress herself, Man-at-Arms, and Orko, and with Cringer, but that's debatable with him, being the only ones who know the secret, know that Adam and He-Man were one and the same? And now this is basically Randor jumping onto the battlefield to assist his son, unaware of the looming threat that is Hordak. For those who don't know who Hordak is, he's not the antagonist of Masters of the Universe. He's the antagonist, the primary antagonist of its spin-off, of its more girly spin-off, She-Ra, Princess of Power. Again, the original She-Ra that ran from 85 to 87, if I remember correctly. Basically, for those who don't know who She-Ra is, she was Adam's twin sister, Adora, who was abducted by Hordak shortly after she was born and brainwashed to be her enforcer on Etheria. Once Adam delivered the Sword of Protection, hey, Austin, can I get back on topic, buddy? to Aurora, it freed her, and she became She-Ra and decided to renounce her ways of evil and atone by joining the Etherean resistance to get rid of Hordak and his goons. And there were a few episodes of She-Ra where she would team up with her brother, with her twin brother. Now, from what I understand, She-Ra is not applicable in this series, which I find a bit stupid. But, like I said, Kevin W. Smith, not a true He Man fanboy. I mean, I openly admit I'm not one either, but at least I bothered watching at least one iteration of this this franchise. Right, as a kid slash as a teen. And for those wondering, I don't think my older sister ever watched the original She-Ra. I mean, growing up in an overkill Christian home, things like that are usually things like She-Ra were kind of taboo. That's my point, Evie. Heck, I even got a positive shout out for calling Smith out on that from a lesser YouTube content creator around that back in 2021. Does Kevin Smith deserve the flack he's getting? Yes. Do I think he will repent for his incompetence? I don't know. But imagine if all the. But do I see him being a victim of the Great Woke Purge? Now, keep in mind, I don't expect him to die during this purge, but I do expect him to lose all sense of credibility into the highest level. He loses his celebrity status when certain things about him that I may or may not want to get into, especially if he has done those things, come up. Will he lose his credibility and status amongst fans of comic books and the 80s? You bet your fucking ass he will. I mean, there are some who have given his show a chance, his iteration of He-Man a chance, but I'm not one of them. Is it a flame of rage of nostalgia being destroyed in front of my eyes again, burning in me? Perhaps. But I would rather see that guy 69 a grizzly bear while King Kong is getting shoved up his ass. I'd rather see him lick the shit skid off the inside of a toilet bowl. I'd rather have him come to a convention with a Siamese bulldog attached to his anus. After playing co op Battletoads, it's with Adam Sandler. And I mean co op OG Battletoads, not the remake or the version on Rare Replay. I mean the OG NES port. The one with the Klinger Winger glitch. If he even gets that far in the game. For those wondering, I never got that far in the game either. I only got as far as the Turbo Tunnel, the bane of every gamer's existence. Regardless, Smith, how many times we gotta teach you this? And what are we gonna teach you? It's at the by the power of Grayskull. You don't have the power, but it's by the power of Grayskull. We, the fans who care about the product, it's us who have the power. Leave a comment, smash a like, and sub to the channel. Goodbye. Good fucking night. Bang.